The King's Speech, which sets out the government's priorities for the coming parliamentary session, was held on the 7th of November. So what was in it? The speech included 21 bills, of which 6 have been carried over from the previous session. These are bills that are introduced in one parliamentary session, but did not complete all of their legislative stages, and so continue on into the next parliamentary session if a carryover motion is passed. 6 of these bills were in the King's Speech, including the Renters Reform Bill, a bill to reform the rental market, including abolishing no-fault evictions. 2 of the bills had been previously published in draft form, which means they had undergone pre-legislative scrutiny by a select committee in Parliament before being formally introduced. There are also 12 new bills included in the King's Speech, of which a number stand out. The Offshore Petroleum Licensing Bill, which follows Rishi Sunak's speech on reviewing the government's net zero approach, would extend oil and gas licensing for the North Sea, and suggests the government may look to make net zero a wedge issue at the election. The Tobacco and Vapes Bill, a bill to ban smoking for those born after 2008 and prevent the availability of vapes for children, follows the Prime Minister's pledge, in his speech at the Conservative conference, to ban smoking in the UK. And the Sentencing Bill, a bill to extend prison time for certain serious crimes, suggests that the government may attempt to put tackling crime at the heart of an election campaign. So, is the King's Speech binding for the government? No, the government is not required to introduce all of the legislation it proposes in the King's Speech, nor is it limited to just what appears in it. But, as this is likely to be the last King's Speech before the general election, none of these bills can be carried over into a new parliamentary session following the dissolution of Parliament ahead of the election. This means the government will want to avoid difficult or contentious legislation that could slow down its ability to pass its wider legislative agenda. And despite some speculation, the number of bills in the speech does not necessarily indicate when an election will be called. The October 2019 Queen's Speech included more than 20 proposed bills, but an election was called within 2 weeks.